Hello everyone, welcome back to Krishna's lectures. We shall now study cell cycle and cell division. This chapter is very important because we are not only going to have questions coming from this chapter in need, but also this chapter is very important to be understanding topics like genetics in 12th. Okay, so this chapter is very important. So the first thing that we have to know is there is a controversial statement here. First, in the introduction, growth and reproduction have been considered to be the characteristic features of living organisms. But if you see the first chapter of 11th, we have defining features and non-defining features. Okay, in defining features we have metabolism and self-consciousness have been considered to be defining features, and the non-defining features are reproduction and growth. Reproduction is defined as non-defining features because there are infertile couples in humans. There are male honeybees which are infertile because all living beings do not express this property of reproduction. Reproduction has been said to be non-defining characteristic features. Growth is said to be so because growth is defined as increase in mass and increase in mass and size. So this means if I take like a heap of sand, and that is also going to be defined as increase in mass and size, so this is also defined as growth. So that is the reason why growth can also be not taken as a defining feature. So this statement has been made in the first chapter of 11th, but here growth and reproduction have been called as characteristic features of living beings. That means to say that you should be very careful while answering a question if asked on this topic. To cell cycle and cell division, just like life cycle, cell also has cycle. Cell cycle, we have first step, that is there is metabolic processes that happen, increase in cytoplasm of the cell or increase in growth. There is growth of the cell. This is the first step. Second, we have duplication of the genome. After this duplication of genome, we have cell dividing, and cell divides and gives rise to two daughter cells. So why is it important? See, when we say cell division, why does cell division happen? And what controls cell division? And what is the characteristic features? Like these questions can be asked. And this has to be asked in order to understand cell division. Okay. So when we say metabolism, it is sum total of all reactions happening in the cell. Metabolism means it is sum of all the reactions happening in the sum total of all reactions happening. So increase in cytoplasm if has to happen, there has to be metabolism. So cell actually in the cell metabolic processes keep happening. This will lead to increase in cytoplasm. Once there is increase in cytoplasm, there is a change that is seen in nucleocytoplasmic ratio. There is change in this nucleocytoplasmic ratio, cell division happens. Why does cell division happen? This is the reason. What change is seen in nucleocytoplasmic ratio? There is increased nucleocytoplasmic ratio. So 1:4 is actually the ratio. If nucleus is 1, cytoplasm has to be 4. But it is 1:1 in a cancerous cell. This is totally not needed because this is not given in NCERT and questions will not come. But you have to understand this, that change in nucleocytoplasmic ratio is the reason for cell division. What actually controls cell division? The genome of a cell, the genetic material of a particular cell is responsible for cell division, and it is going to influence each and every step. Okay, so we got two answers, which is very important before we study cell division. So cell cycle, there is increased cytoplasmic ratio, and then there is duplication of genome, there is division of the cell, and two daughter cells are formed. So this is, like an overview of cell cycle. Now we will study cell cycle in detail. Now we will study phases of cell cycle in detail. So this is a diagrammatic view of cell cycle. So this is actually a diagrammatic view of cell cycle, and I mean this is badly drawn, but excuse this. Here we have to understand that cell cycle has phases, and the phases are actually divided into two phases. One is interphase, and the second is M phase. Here M phase means it is mitosis. M phase has two parts, that is karyokinesis and cytokinesis. Okay, karyokinesis means it is division of the nucleus, and here we have in karyokinesis four stages: prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase, which is followed by cytokinesis, that is division of the cytoplasm. So these are actually the steps seen in M phase, that is karyokinesis and cytokinesis. Karyokinesis means division of the nucleus, cytokinesis means division of the cytoplasm. Here nucleus division as in the genetic material is divided equally. Here in this we have prophase, metaphase, anaphase, telophase. One thing that has to be remembered is it is actually continuous. The phases of cell cycle are continuous, but if for the for the ease of understanding of this, we have divided it. Next is interphase. We have G1 phase, S phase, and G2 phase. Here we have G0 phase also. Now question can be asked as if a cell is not dividing, that is a non-dividing cell, say like a heart cell, what phase is it actually in? It is in G0 phase. Okay, if a cell is not dividing, it is said to be in G0 phase. Quiescence phase or quiescent stage. So here in G1 phase what happens? In G1 phase the cell is metabolically active. Okay, the cell is metabolically active. In S phase there is replication of two things. One is DNA replication, and then centrioles actually multiply. G2 phase there is protein synthesis. This is something which has to be remembered, and questions will come from this.